Hello, everybody, and a very warm welcome to my young friends. So, today I am doing a special Insta session on the Shera, which is one of the most important festivals we have in our country. So, the Shera is actually a very important day in the life of Ram. You see Ram here, and Ram is the hero of the story of the Ramayana. So the Ramayana is actually a mythological tale. And what are mythological tales? Well, these are stories from ancient times, they are traditional stories, and they also have a lot of heavenly beings, or they have superhumans in their stories, and they are stories that are being passed on from hundreds and hundreds of years. So much so that over time we start believing them to be true. But actually, they are not really true, they are still just stories. So, the story of Ramayana was actually written by Rishi Valmiki, and it talks about Prince Ram of Ayodhya, his wife Sita, and Lakshman. So, the story goes like this. I won't start from the beginning because then it gets too long. I'll start from where Ram was sent off to exile, which means he was sent away from home into the forest for 14 long years. Now, while he was in the forest, one day Sita had liked a deer and she really wanted the deer for herself, and Ram went looking for it, and Lakshman followed him soon after. Now, while Sita was all by herself, in came our villain Ravan. Now, Ravan was the king of Lanka, and he really liked Sita, and he said that, Sita, I like you, why don't you marry me? And Sita said, well, I'm already married and I'm not interested in being with you. And Ravan didn't have any control of his temper. So he got very angry and he was very stubborn. And what did he do? He didn't listen to Sita and he dragged her by force against her wish and took her to his kingdom of Lanka. Now, when Ram came back and he couldn't find his wife, he was very upset, obviously. So he went looking all over the place for her. And who did he meet while he was looking for her? Here comes Hanuman. So Hanuman, we all know what Hanuman is. He is a monkey, he carries his gada, and he's got superhuman power. So Hanuman told Ram that I'll go and find out where Sita is. And Hanuman found out that she was in Lanka, and she was very unhappy and kept captive by Ram. So what did Hanuman do? He gathered together all his group of monkeys, his army of monkeys, and what did they do? They built a bridge. See the bridge? They built a bridge with lots of rocks across the sea, because Lanka was across the sea. And then they took Ram and Lakshman and carried them across the bridge to Lanka. Now, the war between Ram and Ravan carried on for many days. Because Ravan was such a powerful guy, Ram was not able to defeat him in battle. So what did Ram do? For 9 days and nights, he prayed to the different forms of goddess Durga, and he asked for strength and courage to be able to defeat Ravan. And then on the 10th day, so he prayed for 9 days, and on the 10th day, he was finally able, see Ram here, he was finally able to kill Ravan. Now this day, because this was the 10th day and it was the day of victory, it's called Vijay Dashmi. So Vijay is victory in Hindi, and Dashmi means the 10th day. Now Vijay Dashmi is celebrated in different parts of the country in different ways, and we also call it the Sera. So the Sera has another meaning. You see, Ravan had 10 heads, so thus comes from the 10 heads of Ravan, and Hara means Haraya in Hindi, which means to defeat. So because Ravan was defeated on this day, it is also called the Sera. Okay, so now if you see this picture here, you'll see that all these 10 heads of Ravan have 10 negative qualities. So, what are the negative qualities? It could be anger, it could be greed, it could be being very rude or aggressive or hating someone. So, these were all the negative qualities that Ravan had. But actually, if you look at it, we also have these negative qualities, don't we? So, just like Ravan, we also have to work on our negative qualities, and instead of being mean or rude or greedy or hating people, we have to be positive and truthful and be nice. So, a lot of times when we talk about Ravan, whether it is in school or we talk about Ravan otherwise, especially when we are celebrating Dussehra and Diwali, we always think of Ravan as the bad villain, the bad guy, and Ram is the hero. Well, I wanted to tell you a little bit of Ravan as well, the story of Ravan. So, you see, just like I was telling you, we all have good and bad qualities in us. So did Ravan. He may have done a bad thing by carrying off Sita, but he was also a brilliant guy. Let me show you how he was. So, Ravan was known to be a big devotee of Lord Shiva. Here he is praying to the Shivling. And Ravan, was the ruler of Lanka, like I already told you, but he was really respected in his kingdom. He was a great king, he was very good, and he was a very capable leader. And the people loved having him as their king. What else? So, a lot of us don't know this, that Ravan was also a scholar, which means that he used to read a lot, and he had read all the important texts like the Shastras and the Vedas of his time. And what else? He was also a pujari, a priest. He could conduct a yagna. And did you know this? He was also an author. My God, the list keeps growing, doesn't it? So, Ravan wrote two very important books. One was on astrology, which talks about the planets and the stars. And the other book he wrote was on medicine. So, isn't it awesome to know that this guy had actually done so much more than we thought? Here's another thing we didn't know about Ravan. He was also a poet and a musician, right? You see this instrument here? This is called the veena, and Ravan actually designed his own version of the veena called the Ravana Hatha, okay? And he used to play it very well. So, here is another thing we learned, and then this is my favorite part of Ravan's story, is the Pushpak Viman that Ravan built. So, in today's language, Pushpak Viman would be an aeroplane. Do you mean to tell me that Ravan designed an aeroplane? Well, yes, so it seems. And his aeroplane could change form and travel at the speed of light. So, if I was to recap, Ravan was a great ruler, he was very intelligent, he was a scholar, he was an author of two books, he was a priest, he was a poet, he was a musician and an inventor. Now, how cool is that? And do you know that in South India, there are many temples of Ravan where he is really revered. And even in North India, I think we have some temples where they pray to Ravan. And what do you pray to Ravan for? Well, you pray for his intellect, his intelligence, and he was also a very wise guy. It was just that one bad thing he did, that he carried away Sita. Now, what does it say here? So, to conclude the story of Dussehra, it says that just as we all have good and bad qualities in us, on the day of Dussehra, we should reflect and say that I'm going to get rid and burn away all my bad qualities and really work on my good qualities. Okay? So, after this, I am going to tell you another very interesting story of Dussehra in a part of India called Himachal Pradesh. So, I'm from Delhi. So, this is Delhi here. Oh, now that I have the map, let me tell you where Ayodhya is. So, Ayodhya is somewhere here in Uttar Pradesh. and you see all the way Ram traveled to, where is this? This is Lanka, where Ravan was and where he carried Sita. So anyway, the next story is about Himachal Pradesh, and Himachal Pradesh is a beautiful, beautiful state in our country. It is full of mountains and lots of greenery, and it's also a little cold there, but a very, very beautiful place. So this place I'm talking to you about today is called Kulu. And Kulu is a beautiful place, and many years ago, I think about 150 years ago, it was ruled by the king of Punjab, who was Maharaja Ranjit Singh. And Maharaja Ranjit Singh, what did he do? He invited all the princes from all the neighboring kingdoms, and he said, why don't you all come and celebrate the Shera with me? And they said, well, do you mind if we celebrate the Shera in our own homes and then come and celebrate with you? So he said, fine. But in those days, here we have all the princes. So in those days, there was no aeroplane, there was no car, there was no train. So how were they going to travel? So they would either walk or take palkis or come on horseback. So all these princes took 3 days to reach Kulu and celebrate the Shera with Maharaja Ranjit Singh, which is why unusually the Shera in Kulu is celebrated 3 whole days after the country celebrates the Shera. So when these princes were coming, they said, why don't we bring the idols of all the gods and goddesses from all our village temples? Why shouldn't the gods and goddesses also get to enjoy the Shera? So they decided to bring all of these. If you see closely, they decided to bring the idols of all the god and goddesses with a lot of respect in these palkis. And every year we have these big processions where lakhs of people come and they carry these idols to the center of town, which is a huge Maidan, which is where the Dussehra celebration takes place. And there is a lot of dance. Can you see? So many people dancing. So there is a lot of dance that happens. There is a lot of music that happens. And you know, I found something very interesting to show you. Look at these musical instruments. So they have very interesting horns, and they have trumpets, and these musical instruments are actually very, very unique. So if you see, each part of our country has very unique looking musical instruments. Look at this. Isn't this nice? So this is how they celebrate the Shera in Kulu. And here we have the final day, which is Vijayadashmi, that they celebrate 3 days later. And we have what is called the Ravan Dahan, which is you are putting Ravan to fire. So today, tomorrow is the Shera, and these are unique times of COVID, right? So we are not going to be going to the parks or the Maidans, and the biggest Ram Leela I know in Delhi is at the Ram Leela Maidan, and where they have that, you know, they have the effigies of Ravan, Kumbhakaran and Meghnad. Wait a second, who are Meghnad and Kumbhakaran? Well, Meghnad is Ravan's son and Kumbhakaran was his brother. And because both of them had taken part in the battle with Ram, they also got killed on that day. So when we have Vijayadashmi and we do Ravan Dahan, the 3 of them are together burnt. Their effigies are burnt. Now you will ask me, what is an effigy? Well, to explain, I'll show you a picture of these artists who are making these heads of Ravan. Okay, so how are they made? The entire body, the heads, everything is made of bamboo so that it can be really tall, and they cover it with paper, different types of colored paper. See how difficult it is to make. And they fill up the body of the 3 effigies with fireworks. So inside the body is the fireworks, and on the day of the Shera, when whoever is playing Ram takes his Tir Kaman and he hits the flaming arrow onto their effigies, the effigies catch fire. And that is how we see Ravan burning. Okay, so I wanted to tell you what the effigies are made of. Now, the other thing we normally do, especially in North India, is that we go and see a Ram Leela. Now, Ram Leela is like, do we have annual day in school or for morning or for evening, where they go and on the stage all the characters are dressed up in different costumes from the Ramayana, and they enact each and every episode from the Ramayana on successive nights. Okay, and we go and enjoy it, and we can go all of us sitting in the audience and enjoy it like we're enjoying a play. And on the last day of the play is when we have the Vijayadashmi, which is when the Ravan Dahan happens. Now, as kids, you might ask, what do we do to make this Dussehra festival special for us? Well, I have some interesting pictures for you. Here I have a little fellow dressed up as Hanuman and having a gada. I remember when I was a child, my brother used to love getting this gada and running around with it. And here are kids who are playing with bow and arrow, which is also something very, very special that we do around Diwali and Dussehra. We all want to be Ram, don't we? And we get bow and arrow and then we try and practice it. But be careful, kids. An arrow can hurt someone. So when you're playing with a bow and arrow, please be very mindful. And what else do we have here? So I have done this as a child. We used to go and buy these beautiful clay idols, small toys, sometimes of god and goddesses, sometimes just figures, and we used to play with them and have a lot of fun, especially from Dussehra leading up to Diwali. And a lot of people actually also use these new toys that they have bought to pray when they are doing the puja for Diwali. So now I want to ask you kids, what would you have done had school been open? So let me guess, if you went to school, the teacher would teach you how to make a Ravan, or you would make maybe a Ravan mask. I'm sure all of you have done this before. Or maybe you would even make a Ravan, a traditional Ravan with paper, make all the heads, make a body. And this is very interesting. This is like a popsicle stick with a Ravan on top. So this is what you would have done, right? Well, I am going to teach you something very different. But before I do that, this is a special picture I want to show you. This is a Ravan at the Learning Tree Play School. And thank you Soni ma'am and Deepak ma'am for giving me this picture. So this is a very eco-friendly Ravan. You know why? Because mostly when we make a Ravan out of paper or even out of newspapers and we burn it, we are still polluting the environment. And with the kind of smoke and the pollution we have, especially in Delhi, I don't think you want to do that. So what did the Learning Tree do? They made the body of Ravan with balloons, and each kid got to go and prick it and hear this loud sound of a pataka. So that is how they did the Ravan Dahan on Dussehra last year. Now quickly I am going to set up my table and I will show you a very interesting Ravan that we are going to make. Our activity is going to be very different, very fun, and I don't know if you've really done this before, and it is going to be a very eco-friendly Ravan that I am going to teach you how to make. So here is my Ravan, kids. Have a look at this. This is a muffin cake Ravan. So I'm going to try and move back so that you can see all his 10 heads. Can you count them? Yes, they're exactly 10 heads and they are made out of muffins. The center one is a huge big muffin, and what I've done is I've done them in different colors. So if you see, they are lighter muffins and the darker ones are the chocolate muffins. So what you can do tomorrow, that you can get these muffins or you can make them at home. I was super duper lucky. I had Anita at home, my bhabhi. She made these lovely muffins for me and we are going to eat them up tomorrow. So you can either make them at home or buy them from the market. And then I'm going to also teach you how we made the faces. So if you look closely, I don't know how many of you can guess. Well, the crown is made out of paper, right? We can guess. And the eyes, they are made out of gems, or the lighter ones have eyes made out of little bullets. And how did I make the mooch, the mustache? We made it with atta. We put a blue color, edible food color in the atta, and we made the moochies. And if you see the central Ravan head, his smile is made out of coconut, and the rest of the little faces, can you see? I'm sure you can guess, they are made out of polo. So I'm going to keep it aside and then I'm going to teach you how to make one of the muffins and then I'm sure the rest of the muffins you can make on your own. Now before I teach you to make the muffins, I want to tell you one more thing. You are not going to be able to find a very long tray in the house because this Ravan is like more than 2 feet long. So what I did was I got some gatta from one of the boxes lying in my store, and I cut out a long piece of it and I covered it with some nice shiny paper. Okay, so you don't even have to go looking for a tray. You can just make it. Parents can help making the kids do this. And then I am going to bring my table here and I will teach you how to make a muffin Ravan. Okay, so I am getting a muffin here, and what am I going to do with it? So I am going to scoop up two little, if you see here, I have already scooped up one of the eyes, and then I am going to scoop up yet another eye so that I can put my chocolate pellets in. So today I am putting chocolate pellets for you, but you know what, you can also, look at this here, you see I have created spaces for two pellets to go in. So here are my pellets, and if you see I also have gems inside, so you can also put gems. For gems you have to be a little more careful. You know why? Because gems are a little big for the muffins. So what you're going to have to do if you're wanting to put gems is you'll have to stick it with icing glue. Okay, so I'm going to show you. Icing glue is either edible glue that you get in a market, or in our case what we did is we just made a nice lemon icing and we stuck it with that. So I'm putting in one of the eyes, then I'm going to put in another eye, and our Ravan's eyes are done. Can you see? I just shoved it in and it is done. Oops, this one's okay, done. Our Ravan's eyes are done. Now I want you guys to make the crown. So for the crown I did something very interesting. We cut paper in the shape of a crown. This is again something Mummy Papa can help you with. But the really interesting part is, how am I going to stick this crown onto the head of the muffin? Well, what I did was, I took a toothpick, and what did I do with the toothpick? I made a hole, I'll just show you. I made a hole through the paper and through the Ravan muffin, and I have used, what is this? These are cloves, long. So we took this, you see this clove, and I am going to put this right inside the muffin head, and that is how the crown will be held in place. Now I'll do another one on the other side. Just give me a minute. There you go. And let me get another piece of long and put it in. It's a lot of fun to do, kids. You will of course need help from Mummy Papa, but oh dear, this one keeps on coming out. No problem. There you go. So I've done the crown, I've done the eyes, and now what else should I do? So you know what, if you want to make a nose for this guy, you can even use carrots. So everything we are using except the paper, everything is edible. Okay, so now what am I going to do? I am going to make the mochis next. So for the mochis, what did I do? I took atta, you see this atta here, and we put the blue color in it, the food color, food grade, which means it can be eaten, and we made these mochis. So this is a bit like plasticine. Don't we have plasticine that we use sometimes to play, except this is edible and it's safer, much safer. And of course, if you put plasticine on your muffin, do you really think you'll be able to eat it? I don't think so. So here we go. I think I need to make this a little smaller. Give me a minute. And here comes the first mochi of the Ravan, and it's like so. And then I'm going to make the second mochi. It's so much fun, kids, and I think parents also going to enjoy it. I had a lot of fun making this yesterday. So here comes the second mochi. You can play around with it. I made fat mochis, you can make thin ones, up to you how you want to make it. And the last thing I'm going to do now is to use polo. Don't we all like polo? So we are going to make the mouth out of polo. So I've got some icing sugar here, folks, and I'm going to use this spatula, and I am going to just put a little bit. So you know why we're putting icing sugar? Because icing sugar, once we put it here and we put it in the fridge, it is going to stick. It will act like glue. Okay, so if you don't have edible glue at home, this is what we are going to use. So there you see, it will take some time, of course, for it to set. I'll just hold it in my hand and show you that I've finished making the Ravan head. Now what you can do, if you don't want to make the entire Ravan, because that is a lot of work, right? So if you don't want to do the entire Ravan, maybe you can just get one big cake or a big muffin and make just the face of the Ravan with it. And maybe you can do another thing, which is what I did. I took a cutter and I made a little bit of a slash here, and here I am going to, give me 1 second, hold on this way. And I will shove down a popsicle stick, ice cream stick, right in and make myself a Ravan lollipop. So it's a muffin Ravan lollipop. So isn't that interesting? So kids, I'll show you the Ravan once more. Have a look at it, see how it's done, and tomorrow maybe you can all make it in the daytime, in the morning, in the first half, and later in the evening. The whole family can get together on the dining table and sit down together and really eat up this Ravan. That's our way of doing the Ravan Dahan and finish him off. And if you want, I'm not lighting this, you can even put this on the side somewhere. You know how this thing catches fire? So we can have our own Fuljari, which will be our version of the fireworks that we are using to burn up our Ravan. Okay kids, so I thank you all for coming, and I just wanted to finish with one last thing, reminding you once more that Dussehra is all about victory over our own selves. So getting rid of our bad habits and working on improving all our good habits. Enjoy yourselves. Hopefully I'll see you soon with another Insta Live session. Bye folks, and special bye to all my little young friends. Bye bye.